What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to show you how I transform this unit into this beautiful jet black unit. I'm also going to show you this method that I use when coloring the hair without staining the lace. This is going to be such a game changer, so sit back and enjoy this video. So I've gone ahead and separated the hair already in 4 sections, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. And so today we're going to be using these 4 colors by Dark and Lovely. So I have jet black, 2 of them, 2 boxes of jet black, 1 box of midnight blue, and 1 box of natural black, which was supposed to be another midnight blue. However, I did not purchase another box of midnight blue. I'm not sure why. I thought I was going to use 3 boxes, but in fact I needed 4 boxes. So lucky enough for me, I had the natural black laying around here, so I went ahead and just added it to the mix. And so here I am just actually preparing the bowl as I mix each of the colors together, and then afterwards I'm going to go ahead and take my whisk so that I can go ahead and mix all 4 colors together, and then from there I can just go ahead and start the coloring process. So when you're using color that has a liquid consistency, be mindful of how much of the color brush that you are dipping into the color, because you don't want to waste it. I don't care if it's $2 a bottle, I don't care if it's $8 a bottle or you got it on sale. I'm the kind of person that every bit counts, especially when it comes to coloring wigs, because you want to make sure that when you are coloring your wigs that every part of the wig is saturated with the color, because sometimes it could be a tricky thing when you are coloring the wig. There are times where I find myself where I am coloring the wig and I might miss a spot. So as you can see here, I'm making sure that I am saturating every section bit by bit, and as you can see that I'm even rubbing it in really good, just so that I can make sure that every string of hair is being touched with this color. So I'm basically just going row by row, section by section, and for each section that I do, what I like to do is take my index finger along with my middle finger, and what I'll do is I'll hold the hair in between that. By doing that, it allows me to apply pressure when I'm applying the color to both ends of the track, which is the top and the bottom part of it. And so as you can see, I'm actually demonstrating what I'm talking about. So as you can see, I'm taking both my index finger and my middle finger, placing the hair in between them, and from there I'm going to take the brush and dip it into the color, and then from there, by applying pressure, I'm going to take the color and apply it from the top of the track to underneath the track. And so once I'm done doing that, then I can go ahead and just apply the color to the rest of the section of the hair. And then from there, like I do for every section, I go ahead and make sure that I saturate it really well, rubbing it together, and then from there I just move on from row to row, section to section. So after I'm done with this portion of the wig, I'm going to come back when it's time to do the frontal, so that way I can show you the technique that I am going to use when it comes to coloring the frontal without you having to stain the lace. when I did that, honestly guys, I honestly forgot to protect the lace part of the frontal. Normally I would spray the lace part of the frontal with Got2b spray, which is like a temporary protection. However, for some reason I forgot to do that. So when I came to using this method, I was honestly thinking that the lace was going to get stained either way, and I was going to probably have to buy some stain remover like the Oops. However, it ended up working in my favor, because when I use this technique that I'm going to show you, the lace did not get touched at all. So I'm definitely excited that I was able to get away with having to color this wig without having to protect the lace. So maybe if this is something that you want to try, maybe you can try it without having to go the extra mile by having to protect the lace with the Got2b spray, whereas you could just use this method that I'm about to show you, and you can see if it is a method that works for you. This is definitely a technique that you don't have to stick with, but hopefully it helps you save some time. So I'm done with the back, and I went ahead and did one side off camera, and as you can see that no part of the side that I've already completed, that there is no stain on the lace or anything like that. And mind you, this is without any protection on the lace. So here I'm going to demonstrate exactly what I did. So I'm actually using one of my edge brushes by using the fine tooth comb part of it, and all I did was just dip it into the color. And as I'm dipping into the color, I'm actually just combing it through. And so by combing it through, I kind of started just a little bit as close as possible to the lace, but to the root of it, but not to the point where it touches the lace. Just enough to where I can at least get to the root without touching the lace. And mind you, because the color itself is runny, you want to be mindful that the color itself does not run on or touch the lace itself. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it to you once more. And when you do it, you want to make sure you get thin slices each time you go row by row. So of course, there's the color. I've dipped it into the bowl, and just by using that amount, all I'm doing is taking it, combing it, and as I comb it, I'm passing it through. First I go on the top part, and then I lift it up and I go on the bottom part, just so I can make sure that the color is not seeping through or touching any part of the lace. And as you can see that I'm not even going all the way down, I'm just actually going from the root to the mid shaft of the hair. And then afterwards, once I've gotten a good section part of it done, I go ahead then and take the brush, and then I go ahead and apply the color to the rest part of the hair, saturating it, making sure that I rub my hands together so I can make sure that the color is nicely saturated into the hair. And voila, as you can see, there is no color on the lace, nothing like that. So I'm going to continue to do the same steps for the rest part of this lace, and then I'm going to come back after everything is done. And voila, so the coloring part is completely done. So I've actually allowed this to sit for a good 45 minutes. And then after the 45 minutes, I go ahead and rinse the color off. And I'm rinsing the color off with cool water. You want to use cool water, at least that's what I do. I use cool water every time I'm rinsing color off, only because with hot water you will see a lot more color running from the hair. But if you use cool water, it definitely helps to keep the color in a lot more. So I always use cool water whenever I'm rinsing color out, whenever I'm shampooing it, all of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish rinsing this off. And then after I'm done rinsing it off, I do about a good 2 to 3 shampoos, depending on how much color is in the wig. And then once I've seen that the color has, like when you look at the water, once you've seen that it's starting to clear up, that just lets you know that the color itself is already completely out of the wig. And so once I'm done shampooing the wig, I'm going to go ahead and use the treatment, which is the silicone mix that I showed you guys earlier, the bamboo. That thing does wonders, guys. I used to use the regular kind, but for some reason, it is something about that bamboo. That bamboo just works wonders. OMG, I have been using that from the beginning, and I use it on all of my units. And so it's definitely a great product. I definitely would vouch for that product. If anybody would ask me, it is definitely a good product. I actually think it's better than the original silicone mix. So it is definitely one of my favorite treatments to use. And then after I'm done putting the treatment on the hair, I do actually use the conditioner that came with the Dark and Lovely. Y'all, that conditioner is amazing. If you are someone that is a Dark and Lovely fan, you do not throw away that conditioner. That conditioner is good. It is really, really good. And as you can see right now, I'm actually placing the treatment on the hair. And then after I place the treatment on the hair, this time I had actually let it sit overnight. It is actually based on how you're feeling about what you want to do. You can actually let it sit for an hour. You can let it sit overnight. You can let it sit for 2 hours, 3 hours, however you feel. But for me, this particular night, it was pretty late, so I ended up just letting it sit overnight. And then from there, the next morning when it was done, I went ahead and rinsed the treatment out. And then from there, I then finished it off by using the conditioner, rinsing that off. And then once I've completed the entire process of washing the unit, I went ahead and allowed it to air dry. And as you can see, guys, that based on me washing this wig, you can already see that the lace itself was not even compromised by any way. So definitely, guys, give this technique a try and let me know in the comments if you've already tried it before, or if you have another technique that you like to use. Go ahead and place them down in the comments. I would love to hear some of the techniques that you guys use when it comes to coloring your wigs, especially when it comes to the lace part of your wigs. So right before letting the wig sit and air dry, I'm going to wrap it in a cotton shirt. I'm actually going to wrap it in 2. That way the cotton can at least absorb as much water as possible. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the next process. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take this wig apart by using this tool, which is called a seam ripper. You can actually purchase this from Michael's. I purchased about a good 5 of these things because they are actually very, very helpful. So if you are a wig maker, you are definitely familiar with this particular tool, and I'm pretty sure it is your best friend when it comes to you taking apart or trying to reconstruct a wig. And so if you are someone that is interested in becoming a wig maker, or you have already started your business, this is definitely a tool that you will definitely need. This is actually going to become your best friend. This wig originally, before I started using sewing machines, I was actually hand stitching my wigs before. And so before doing that, I decided that I wanted to transition into using the sewing machine. It would take me about 4 hours just to complete one wig just by hand stitching. And so by transitioning into using the sewing machine, I realized that it cut my time by 2 hours. And so what would normally take me about a good 4 hours just to complete one wig, I would at least do two. But I would say just keep practicing. If you're someone that is just getting into using sewing machines, just keep practicing. The more you practice, the lesser time you start, the lesser your time gets as you continue to keep practicing making wigs after wigs after wigs. And then eventually you will get the hang of it. Now, of course, this part of the process, I could have just did it off camera, but I wanted to take you guys on this journey with me just so that you guys can see the process and how I reconstruct wigs, take them apart. Believe it or not, I actually love reconstructing wigs. I love it. I love the joy of reconstructing wigs and remaking them and just reinventing them and doing wig transformations. I really enjoy doing this part. I don't know, it's just therapy for me. I'm not sure if you are a wig maker and, you know, this is something that is therapy for you as well. However, for me, I love when I get a chance to reconstruct a wig and just have it looking like brand new. And so here, as you can see, I've already taken apart the wig, and now I'm going ahead and starting the whole remaking process. So right now I am actually just stitching down the frontal, and because it has already been pre-worn and everything like that, it was nothing for me to already do the placement of the frontal, so that way I can go ahead and hand stitch it down. And so after I hand stitch it down, I'm then going to do my guidelines. That way, right after I do my guidelines, I can go ahead and use the sewing machine so that I can start creating my wig. If anyone is wondering, I do offer one-on-ones for wig making, whether that's for closures or frontals, or if you want to learn both. Along with that, I do also offer beginner braiding. So if that is what you're interested in, go ahead and go on my website, which is www.missgigistyles.com, where you will be able to find the Book Miss Gigi tab. From there, you can go ahead and scroll down to the classes that I do offer. I will definitely have a link down below for anyone that is interested. After I am done stitching down the frontal, next I'm going to use my sewing machine, which is my Heavy Duty by Singer, to double my wefts. And then after I am done doubling my wefts, I will then proceed with the stitching process. So I am now done stitching my wefts, and this is how it looks after I'm done stitching my wefts. If you guys would like me to do a separate video tutorial on how I make my wigs from start to finish, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section, and I will be more than happy to make a tutorial separate from here, from this video, and that way you guys can see my process and how I make my wigs. Alright, so the stitching process is now complete. We've actually reached the end of this video, where now I'm just going to go ahead and start the styling process. I do have a separate video that I am working on where I show you guys how I style my wigs step by step, so do be on the lookout for that. I also decided that I was going to do a side part on this wig. I actually love side parts. I am not a middle part fan. Not to say that they're not my favorite, it's just that I find that side parts just looks really good on me, and so I just have a thing for side parts. Now, I won't say that I won't ever do a middle part. That day will come. It's just that right now I'm just in the phase of having side parts every time I style my wigs. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead and sit back and allow you guys to just watch the remainder of this video as I style this wig, and then when I'm completely done, I will come back and show you guys the end results. Also, if you're not subscribed, I would love to have you to be a part of the Miss Gigi Styles community. So go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. That way you get the notifications each time I drop a video. Now that the curling process is complete, I normally let my curls cool down for about 5, 10, or 15 minutes. And then from there, I will gently take down the curls. After I take it down, I'm then going to do a last minute spray. And so after I do the spray, then I will comb out the curls. So in the next clip, you're going to see how shiny and bouncy the curls look, which I'm definitely happy. And so before I comb them out, I'm going to use my Voluminous Touch Memory Spray by Kenra. And after I'm done spraying that all over, I'm then going to use my wide tooth comb to comb out the curls. Now, the one I would particularly use, I couldn't find it, so I ended up using this wide tooth comb instead. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and comb out the curls. And you just want to comb them out gently. You want to play with it just to style it to your liking. And then once you style it to your liking, you want to go ahead and spray the hair in place. And if you have to recurl it, that is fine. And so here is the final results on how this styling process came out. I'm definitely happy with the results. And also to look at that bounce and that shine. And as you can also see that even the lace itself looks good, and I didn't even add any type of concealer or anything on it. And mind you, this is me not even protecting the lace. So go ahead and try out this technique that I showed you. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have not yet, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.